You guys have been asking about the clean burn. Today I'm going to explain what it is and show you how to do it. Let's fire it up. Hey, I'm James from Smoking Dad Barbecue, and today I'm sharing something that I've never shared before in any of my other maintenance videos. Now, if you haven't seen any of those, there's 3 that you may want to check out. As spring is just around the corner, it is the perfect time of year to do a couple things. The first is my top 5 fixes video, but in that, the most important is to go ahead and check the tension on your dome. I like to do that spring and fall just to make sure that they're nice and snug and there's no risk of your dome becoming detached from your airlift hinge. The second is to calibrate your dome temperature gauge. And so winter to summer weather and high temperatures can throw that off a little bit. And so just to make sure that it's accurate, there's a quick and easy fix using some boiling water to recalibrate your temperature gauge so it's accurately giving you good information. And then the last one that I'll link in the description below is how to go ahead and clean your dome, whether it's grease or just a little bit of winter dirt and grime that has stuck itself onto your dome. There's a quick and easy way, easier than I've ever done before, and I wish I discovered it much earlier, on how to clean the outside of your Kamado. But this video today is all about cleaning the inside. And so we're gonna go from something that looks a little bit like this to, when we're all said and done, something that looks a little bit more like this. And right now, before we get started, my deflector plates, these are from my Big Joe. You can see they're looking a little bit grimy. I'll show you what these look like after the clean burn as well. Anyways, let's build our fire and fire it up. Okay, so this is what the inside of our Kamado Joe Big Joe looks like. This is actually not too bad. The inside of my Kamado Joe Classic is actually a little bit grimier around here. But since I've just used the heat deflectors in a pizza cook, they look brand new. So we're gonna go ahead and do our deep clean today on the Big Joe. So this is a bit of a before, and we'll do the after later on. So what we're gonna wanna do now is just load this up with some charcoal, start our fire, and I'm gonna use the X accessory rack to install our heat deflector plates on the second level, and then our grids that we'll clean above them on the top level. I'll take you fast forward while we build our fire. Okay, so now we've got a nice coal bed lit in the center of our Big Joe. Let's go ahead and drop in our X accessory rack. Next, I'll drop in my deflector plates, find which is my dirtiest side, and go ahead, place that down. And then I'll go ahead and install the grids above that. Open our control tower top all the way, as well as our bottom draft door. Okay, so this next part is really easy. We're just gonna wait till we see about 700 degrees Fahrenheit on the dome and let that run for about an hour. Then using my high heat gloves, I'm gonna come and check on that ceramic and see if they're starting to go white on the bottom and if we can flip them, or if we are able to clean both sides just based off of the high heat. After that, I'll also show you how we're gonna get all that gunk off of our cooking grids so they're nice and clean and ready to go for next time. I'll rejoin you after a little while. We're up to temperature and we're on to step 2. All right, quick update. Let's go ahead and take a look inside our Big Joe now. I did notice after a few minutes, we were up to about 750 degrees in no time. So I took the opportunity to go ahead and close our control tower top, since that's just a little bit more heat than what we need to clean our grill grates as well as our deflector plates. And so I went ahead and closed that. We are now holding about, let's see, just shy of 600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is more than enough to activate our deep clean mode. So let me bring the camera a little bit closer, and I'm gonna use a wire brush. And so you wanna be careful with the grill brushes that you're using, that they're not the kind where the wires can come dislodged and attached to your grill grates. This is one that I picked up specifically for that concern, that you don't end up eating any of those bristles and get them into your food. Otherwise, you could go ahead and use an SOS pad or something like that. So I'm gonna give the grill grates their first scrub and try and remove as much of that baked on food and leftover barbecue grease and grime, etc., as well as taking a look at our heat deflector plates and see if we can go ahead and give those a flip if they need it. Let's take a look inside our Big Joe. Okay, you're definitely going to want some high heat gloves for this part, just as it'll give us the opportunity to touch our components without burning our hands. So these are looking really good. We're starting to notice our ceramics getting white here as well on the top. So let's give the grill grates a quick scrub and then take a look at our heat deflector plates. All right, our deep clean process is looking great. I can already tell a huge difference on our ceramic plates. So as you saw there and fast forward, just went ahead and give those a quick flip. I also use the grill brush to remove as much of that baked on junk from the cooking grids, and I'm gonna now let those cool. And so once they're cool, I can go ahead and do a little bit more work on them with some stainless steel. And if you even want, you could get really fancy and soak them in a bucket with a little bit of vinegar if you want to get them back to their original shine. But they are now clean and ready to go for our next cook. So I'll rejoin you in another half hour once we've given the other side of our deflector plates a chance to cook off any of that baked on junk, and then we'll open up our Joe, shut it down, and take a look at the inside of our firebox, where we used to have, again, a lot of that drippings and different cooks like briskets, ribs, etc., that have filled up our firebox and turned the ceramics from nice and clean to black. And I'll show you what that looks like in a couple more minutes once we're done our second half of our self-clean oven mode. All right, our deep clean cycle is complete. Let me bring the camera a little bit closer and show you what the Joe looks like inside. But as you can see, our ceramic plates are looking good as new. So as you can tell, our deep clean has worked and removed all of that previous gunk and grime that was on our firebox. It's looking good as new. All right, our deep clean has been a success. Really happy with how everything turned out. So when is it time to do a deep clean? Well, outside of spring cleaning, which is a great time to do it, there's a few reasons that you may want to consider doing a deep clean. One of the most common, if you've been doing a bunch of low and slow cooks like brisket or ribs, some of that fat drippings ends up down in those ceramic plates in hard to reach places, and you'll find you start getting some dirty smoke. So you start having trouble with your grill coming up to temperature, or you're getting bad tasting smoke and you can't quite figure it out, a deep clean may be in your future. The other reason you may want to do this, if you're doing something off the beaten path, like I saw Pitmaster X do once, and actually cook some naan bread on the outer walls of the ceramic ring, that is another opportunity that you want to go ahead and have those nice and clean. So if you're doing cooking right on that surface, you're not going to get any off-putting taste. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and again, check the description down below for the links to the other videos that I mentioned that you definitely want to be doing for spring cleaning, including tightening your bands, maybe cleaning your dome, and adjusting your thermometer. If you like this video, please let YouTube know by smashing that thumbs up button, and let me know by hitting subscribe to catch future videos. Until next time, I'm James from Soaking Dad Barbecue, signing off, and remember, don't be afraid to fire it up.